Hi everyone. So, for those of you who have been following my progress, you might have been aware that at one point I was developing a game called Matter, and I ended up stopping that for 2 years to this date because I needed to focus on the multiplayer development. Um, to be honest, my biggest realization about multiplayer development is that it just needs to be precise. You can't be sloppy because errors in network code lead to the butterfly effect and lots of just things desynchronizing very quickly. And it's very difficult to create a playable experience that also looks good. And that's been my experience over the last 3 years. As well as that, I've been learning Python and C++, and those tasks took a lot of time, but they were interesting in their own right. But I'm much more of a programmer than an aesthetical artist. I know what looks good, but I don't necessarily have the skills to replicate that by myself. But I don't want to create games that don't look nice, which is why all of my demos have been basic cubes and planes to achieve a purpose rather than to aesthetically please. This game might look familiar to some of you. For those of you who remember, I, alongside other people including Mockazon, worked on the 70 FPS competition, and we created a game called Blitzstorm. My job was to create the multiplayer networking code for it, and I actually did get a lot done in that time, but then eventually I realised that it probably wasn't going to be playable. That's not a good realisation to have. But 7 days isn't enough time to write network code in anyway. You need to have an already implemented library, which is what I was using, but my library wasn't complete enough, and the physics wasn't fun to work with. And that was my biggest loss of time, was just writing physics code after physics code, which really just didn't hold up to the candlelight, really. So what I ended up doing was rewriting the library, and that's what I've been doing since then. And I've now got my demonstration library. What I've got here is the Blitzstorm map. I haven't done any optimizations or anything to any of the physics. All I've done is I've created a nav mesh and imported the physical player objects, but I've not written any extra code or anything else like that. So if I click update, I can see our server, and if I click connect, it joins that server. I did actually rescale the actors though, because they were a little bit too large. Anyway, but you'll see immediately that it's actually playable, and with the actual exception of physics bugs, which are just due to the weird physics arrangement on this map, it's very playable. Now, this player doesn't currently do any shooting because I removed the shooting logic a while ago to debug, but everything else this player can do. So it can run. It can't jump actually, so it can't do everything. But it's a proof of concept, and the whole point is that the physics works, and the connection and disconnection works, and other players can see you. So that's already a large step completed. And here you just saw an error correction, which does happen from time to time. Let's have a look. So yeah, I've been working on this for a while, and you'll see that there's a zombie around here somewhere if I can find him. It depends where he's gotten off to. Let's have a look if we can see. Again, that was a little bit of a replication error. Let's have a look for our zombie. Where are you? Wherever that zombie is, he'll be bugging out, and that's simply because, yes, the nav mesh doesn't quite fit the map, and the physics is really awful to collide with. So we need to fix that at some point. But yeah, in the meantime, everything else is done, so I'd like to just show you this, really. I want to show you this, rather, and hopefully I might be able to contact the old developers and see if they'd like to carry on working on this with me. But more of that to come later. So thank you for watching, and I'll keep you posted.